next door playing Fortnite.
Nice. That's what's up. You at the shop right now? Or are you at home?
So I live right behind the shop.
That's dope.
Literally right behind the shop. So like I ran over here and I grabbed Chase and his friend, and they're like playing Fortnite next in the other room over. So
that's awesome. Where I'm currently at, like, I mean, obviously I'm moving right now, but we're moving to Magnolia on Friday.
Dude, that's north side. That's super north.
Bro, like that's that's so far. But like we're getting this great place, man, and we're gonna be able to buy a pre-con home, and then once we own it, sell it, use that money to put down on like a slab home. So like I got a plan in mind for like the next 10, 12 years. We should be in a nice new house by then.
Dude, you remember whenever Kylie lived in Magnolia?
Bro, I was just talking about Kylie the other day, bro. That fool just pops up in conversation sometimes.
He definitely left a mark.
Yeah, dude's I knew him in high school, so like I knew him for a long time. And then when he popped up coming to shows, I was like, "What are you doing out here?" Because like when we were in high school, he definitely wasn't hanging out with us and doing any kind of punk rock stuff. I mean, whatever, come when you come. I don't give a crap. But like,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this house. When I had my comic book shop, it's a mile from my front door to the front door of that old shop. So that's why we live here too, is this is really close to the shop.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
Dude, COVID be damned. It is what it is. My new place is better. I got like this channel is really growing at a pretty staggering rate. I'm really appreciative to everybody that watches this single video that I do.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, man. I never thought I'd be on this end of it. I think I like it better though. I'm not really into like, I don't know, dude. The band thing was too much for me, man. I caved, dude. Like I'm not good at I'm good at getting things figured out, and then as soon as the pressure hits, I do stupid stuff. So I was like,
I get it.
Yeah, right. So
like, I was just talking about crow's feet to
bro. Anybody doesn't know, dude? Crow's feet, bro. Right there.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, you think about it. That band was sick, man. So it was you on vocals, Halston and Pete, and then Mike on bass, and then me on bass.
Yeah, bro, like that was a really, really good lineup. And then we had, for just a little while, we had Cody Beck on second guitar, and R.I.P. Cody, man. Sure. That dude was a wild man, bro. That dude loves spin kicking.
yeah. No, for sure. He was cool as hell though, man.
Yeah, dude. I lived with that guy for a long time, man. We had our ups and downs, bro. But he was my dude. I had his back, man. But yeah, we used to act fools, bro.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you and I did in particular that was just I'm like, dude, how am I alive right now?
Bro, I try to tell people, I'm like, I'll be talking to folks. First and foremost, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the Punk Rock Review Podcast. My special guest today is somebody I've known for, this is special to the degree I can't even describe to you guys. This is Ryan Taylor. He sings for Liberty and Justice, amongst other bands, and he does, he cuts hair, has a barbershop, pillar of the punk rock and hardcore and oi community in Houston and Texas. For as long as I've known you, you've been a staple, and you've been part of creating music, art, and jobs.
We've been friends for 20 years.
Yeah, a long time.
We're at 20 years. It's a long ass time.
Yeah, long time. Half our life. Yeah. So I will tell people because people know you. I fell out for a long time. I had to clean up my life, dude. Only way I could do it was to get away. I met my beautiful wife, and we got, she's a normie, dude. Like, she doesn't, this is she's still learning of this stuff,
We got to take our breaks. I did that right after rehab. I took a break from all this, and I just kept my head down and focused on recovery, spirituality, and met my wife too. So it's like, we got to do stuff like that,
Have to. But look at when you come back. So if you just took a screenshot from 2004 and then 2022, you'll still see both of us in those screenshots.
Yeah.
And so there might be spots throughout where we were like, I got to go fix some stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you can tell the lifers from whatever. It doesn't give you no cred or anything, but I just love it. I love music, and I'm glad to be back kind of mingling with people and getting to know people again. It's pretty amazing.
No judgment at all, but
no.
This is comfortable to me. I'm I couldn't imagine doing anything else,
I tried to start legitimate businesses. I tried to do like cover hip hop music, which I still love, okay, and lifestyle stuff, which I still love.
Same.
But it doesn't get the smile on my face that like listening to a new Rancid record, finding out you have new stuff out, seeing like discovering CMI and then finding out that you guys know each other. It was so weird because it was so not on purpose.
No, for sure, man. Because I was just talking to somebody else about this last week. You remember the first time you heard the first Give 'Em the Boot comp?
Oh yeah, bro, dude. So when I first heard y'all's album Pressure, I don't know if you ever saw the review I did.
Yeah, I did.
I was grinning from ear to ear, and I was like, yo, this sounds like a Give 'Em the Boot record, bro. I was like, this sounds like a Hellcat record. I was losing my mind, bro, and I'm so proud of you guys for being from here, dude. It's just so good. Anybody has something to say about it, like, go on.
You already know that that's by design because you and I used to talk about that stuff. Like the first time I got that Give 'Em the Boot Volume 1 for like, whatever, $4.99.
$5 or something? Yeah, it's $4.99.
No, it like I got goosebumps listening to it, and like every track from like Hepcat to The Business to the Rancid track, the Brothels, all that stuff.
Bro, that song is so good.
It was like a pivotal point in my life for sure.
100%. I think that comp, dude, it's so funny too because on this specific channel, that comp has come up just organically with I think like 90% of the people that I've talked to because we all are around the same age, most of us, you know, so that helps. But like it was so everybody's talked all that crap about Tim and Rancid, but they all still bought those comps. They still went to those shows. They still had the band. It was so 100%. Stupid, man.
And it's funny because like you've interviewed rappers and people from all different genres and different subsets of punk rock, but like so many of us can bring it back to the Give 'Em the Boot comps.
I think there was two kinds of people. I think there was the people that listened to solely the Fat Music and Punk-O-Rama stuff, and those were like the guys that went to Warped Tour. They'll go to like the Blink shows and all that stuff, right? And those are awesome people. I had a lot of friends like that.
Yeah.
Then you had the people that got the Give 'Em the Boot comps, and that was like the beginning of, okay, now I might want to start a band. Now I might want to start a zine. I want to start doing graffiti. I want to start a label. I want to go to the shows. I want to go to Mary Jane's. I want to go to Walter's. I want to go to Fitzgerald's. Like those places where there was only 200 people. Like that's the stuff. Then when you got that, then the doors open. You get to come inside, see all this crazy stuff. You get to meet all these cool people, and that's where the bands. That's how you and I have in our personal collections probably dozens of different bands stuff that neither of us even really know about because there's so many bands out there.
No, 100%, and you know we can spend all of our time in our lives searching and finding these bands. But to me, that the people that got into the Give 'Em the Boot comps, like you and I, are the people that got in the cut. They got into whatever was happening in their area. And like I don't know about you, but I'm through any genre, I'm constantly looking for that street style, Give 'Em the Boot style band, whether it's like hardcore, because you know there's flavors like that, hip hop, all different genres it affected.
Especially with like hip hop stuff, I go directly to. I wish I had my hat in here, man. I had like I don't know if you noticed, but I had to start a new Facebook account. I lost like 15 years of my Facebook account over a stupid patch that I made, a silkscreen Suicide Boys patch. They said I took some kind of, I don't know, it was stupid. They didn't even give me like an opportunity to take it down. They just took my whole account down. It was wild, bro. It crushed me, dude, because I have a bunch of memories pre-Harvey because I lost my house in Harvey. So, like, pre-Harvey, I don't have anything now. I don't have any memories anymore, no photos, nothing. It really sucks, man. But
so much was lost in Harvey. So
bro,
much.
I was standing in chest-deep water watching my kids' toys float by, bro. That was terrifying. I've never been that scared. And I was like now I'm strong, dude. I'm like, I can handle. I bartend, bro, and I'm sober. Yeah. I don't let things bother me. But back then, that was like at a point in my life where I was really. It was scary, dude. Like I thought I might break, dude. I might get back on dope. Like it was real. Yeah. I was like so stressed out. We were homeless with 2 kids. Like, well, what? Like, you know. And
it felt like it came out of nowhere too,
bro.
You know? I mean, people instantly were dying in their cars in water. Like it just kind of like popped up out of nowhere. I think a lot of us thought like, oh, okay, well, it's not going to be that bad, and then it was the flood.
So I have a couple really good friends named Josh, Chris, and Hugh. I met all those guys post Harvey. Well, I met Josh right before Harvey. So me and Josh were actually I think we were eating at like Raising Cane's the day that Harvey was starting. And it was on the radio, and I was working at a comic book shop, like running this shop for this guy over on Westheimer. And I had closed. I was closed. I locked up. And my buddy's like, hey, let's go get some food. So we go get food. And we're talking about Harvey. And we're both said, bro, we've been in Houston our whole lives. Do they always freak out about these floods and nothing ever happens? And so I went home and popped my feet up and was watching Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight. Yeah, and that was the same day of Harvey. Yeah. And so, and then at about like the 8th round of that fight, maybe 7th round, something like that, like midway through the fight, water started coming in my house. And I was like, whoa. I mean, I say house, my apartment. And yeah, bro, we all thought it was going to be like a terrible flood that like ruined some cars. And then that was it. That's about what we thought.
But this was like infrastructure changing, like life changing.
Bro. Yeah, man, that was one of the worst weeks of my life. And on the same coin, other side, one of the best things that's ever happened to me, because I learned a lot about who I am as like a man and as a father, a husband, because I just like, once I thought about it, and I don't push like religious stuff on anybody, but I'm kind of religious, man. I've been praying a lot lately and stuff.
Same, bro.
Like,
I don't, you know.
And I'm, you know, to each their own. You know, do what you want to do. You got questions, ask me. I'll answer them. But I'm not trying to argue with nobody. I certainly ain't trying to push nothing on anybody. But, same. Bro, it's so dumb. It's so counterproductive. But
no, for sure. And like, you know, we're involved in a church, and we have our community, and just like you, I'm sure I have like more friends that dog on churches and stuff like that than don't. And I'm just respect where we're at and just kind of.
It is what it is, bro. Yeah. Those people, oftentimes when they have a bad day, I'm the first person they call. So it is what it is.
Straight
bro.
Up.
Yeah, bro.
Like, okay,
hey,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have you to thank for a lot of this stuff, and I'll get to that in a second, man. But like, I remember sitting in my neighbor's apartment upstairs, eating like food we were cooking on like a little camper grill, and my kids are sitting there in the dark. And I got you remember Poncho, my dog? Poncho's sitting down. R.I.P. Poncho, that's my dude forever. He's sitting. That dog was around everybody, bro. We were sitting in my neighbor's apartment, and only because they were like avid outdoorsmen. It was this couple, and they had like, dude, they had boats and camping gear, so they were able to really help us out. But I remember thinking, like, man, if it wasn't for these guys, I'd be in some serious trouble. And they weren't really like, I don't know how to say it without coming off like a prick, but like they weren't like tough dudes at all. It was this dude and this gal. And so I basically just stayed up all night, sitting on the patio, holding the fort down. And then they would like feed my kids, bro. But I learned real quick, like, okay, what kind of dude am I going to be? I had to let that stuff go. It was really hard to like let it go. Like it's just stuff. Like it's just let it go. Like
well,
it was so hard.
Like guys like you and I, like Aaron kind of clowns on me at times about it, but like lovingly, but like I put so much emotion into things. And what I mean by that is like I got my record collection and my band t-shirts, and like I have so many memories tied to those, you know? But like I constantly think about like what would I be okay with ultimately losing, like what you went through, like you like tangible products, things, you lost it all, but you still had
I have like 2 or 3 things that I had pre-Harvey, and one of them happens to be my Rant Said Out Come the Wolves tour t-shirt. I have it from 1996 still. I still have that. I went in and got that. But like, yeah, I lost essentially everything. All of our documents were lost. All of our money was lost. All of our belongings, our beds, our bikes, our TVs, our clothes, our kids' toys, our food, our everything, bro. It was so weird. Like, it was so crazy that it didn't even bother me. Like, I was like looking around and like, I mean, you know how I used to be. I'm pretty like I'm a real up and down. I don't have very much middle. I'm either super hyper or super chill. And I was just standing around, looking around, and I was like, I don't even know what to say. I was like, are you guys okay? And they're like, we're okay. And I'm like, well, if you're okay, then I guess I'm okay. And I was like,
yes,
you know, I was like, then whatever, man, let's go listen to some music. We turned on my phone and listen to some music. I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, like in all sincerity, man, we haven't talked about this a lot because every time we're talking, we're always busy. Like we never sit and do this. We haven't done this in years. And
no, we straight up. Yeah.
I owe you a lot for my sobriety, and I know you don't want nothing for it, except like I owe you a thank you because, man, I remember back then you were the first person that was like, stop with the bullshit, man. Like, I just want to get off this crap. And like, you just kind of like, you disappeared for a little while. And like, I was like, okay, if Ryan can do it, I can do it, because I was miserable, bro. And me and you and Richard and like all the like homies, we were all bad off. We were all criminals. We were all doing stupid stuff.
There's so much stuff that so many of our friends immediately outside of that circle didn't know about, you
Bro.
know, the extremes that we were taking stuff to. And
they don't know. Most of them still don't understand. I've talked to Rob, and he's like, yeah, I remember this. But I'm like, bro, you don't even know, dude. Like,
not even the half.
man, like the stuff that me and Richard specifically did was like, I'm so glad that we didn't get caught up in that, because I would have been in some real trouble. That wouldn't have this family, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I not to get too much into that because it just shouldn't be here, but I remember I went into rehab right as Rich was doing his first bid, and like that could have, like, I know he's still around and everything, but that could have been you, could have been me, could have been any of us. And I had this snap moment where I'm like, okay, let me just duck down and just give this a shot, you know?
Well, yeah, I still talk to him pretty regularly, and like, and it was obviously for a long time I didn't, but like, yeah, man, that's somebody. This is how you can tell what kind of person you are. This is how I knew what kind of person I was, because I don't tell you what kind of person I am. You tell me what kind of person I am. I'll behave. I'll do the things I'm doing. By behave, I just mean like I'll live.
Yeah.
And then you can tell me who I am, because it's not for me to decide. It's for the people that are around me to decide based on my actions, right?
100%. 100%.
And so I get a phone call from Richard, and he's like, hey, man, this is recent. He's like, hey, man, I need a favor. Bro, that water is so fire. That water dude, that water is so fire.
Yeah.
Dude, legit. I drink it at work.
Well, it's also one of those things where it's like I try to drink stuff out of cans because like I'm trying not to drink as much soda or things like that.
Dude, the only crutch I still have is Dr. Pepper. That's the only one. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't drink anymore. I'm trying to get off this. Dude, it's so good. Once I move, we have a bike trail. I'm going to get back into shape, bro. You watch. I'm going to do it, man. I know I can. But Richard calls me. He's like, hey, man, I need a favor. And I was like, bro, whatever. You know what it is, dude. Like, as long as I'm not breaking the law, I got you, dog. He's like, no, nothing like that. He's like, I need you to get these 4 tubs of clothing. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, I mean, sure. He's like, yeah, this guy that I know has got it, but I trust you, and I need you to get this stuff, and I need you to ship it to me. I'll send you the money for shipping. I just want my clothes back. And I was like, whatever, bro. So like right now, I still have like 2 tubs of his clothes in my garage. He's coming down to get them soon. So I'm not today.
Like Minnesota, right?
Bro, Colorado, doing like some oil stuff. Cool. Yeah, like that's my guy, bro. For sure. But so, man, I never got to ask you this, dude. I was never shocked that you started a business, but I was a little surprised you went into barber. Like, what made you decide to go to in that direction and open up the shop? Because that's, I mean, you're mad successful at this point, or at least I think so. To me,
I appreciate that, and I don't want to like talk down on myself, but also be realistic. Like, you and I are both successful considering where we came from. But it's probably, not like, but you know what I'm saying? It's not like money still isn't an issue. You know what I mean? It's just
no, always will be an
issue.
Yeah.
But so it was the duck down time. Whenever I just kind of kept my head down and got sober, I was trying to think about things in my life that never felt stressful, that used to kind of calm me down. And back in the day, my brothers and I used to cut each other's hair, and I loved that. And I look back on those memories fondly. It was just like we had the little Walmart clippers in the garage.
Yeah.
And so I had a sponsor at the time who was a stylist, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to barber school. I'm going to go to barber school. I'm going to give it a year. If I hate it, I can, I was working at Whole Foods. I can go back to Whole Foods, whatever.
Right.
And I think it was a combination of the hustle mentality that you and I have from the past, and also being sober. But for the first time ever, I had like cash in my pocket from tips, and it wasn't burning a hole in my pocket like in the past, where like I would have that and it'd be gone by the end of the day. Like no.
Oh, bro, it'd be gone before I even got off of work. I'd be like texting my people, like, "What's up, dude?" Like,
straight up.
Roll through, bro. I need to hit you, like
straight up. And so then it became like oh man, maybe I can save money. I've never done that before,
bro.
Legit though.
I'm laughing because I'm hearing myself talking, bro. Like,
and so I was able to kind of start saving a little bit of money, and I was like, okay, cool, damn, this actually works. And then I started looking into like, man, it would be cool to have a shop where the 15-year-old in me can still live and be comfortable. And that was kind of the goal from the start, is like a place where like anyone's welcome. We listen to all different types of music, but we got like Fred Perry's and records in the back, and just something that like I could still be an immature kid, but still make a living at it. You know what I mean?
It's so weird. I literally, first off, that's amazing, man, because money is always going to be an issue because we got families. And if you don't have a family, maybe it won't be. But if you have a family and you're not a millionaire, money is going to still be like a thing where you have to at least think about it. You may not be broke, but like right now, I got enough money to, if I wanted to go and, I don't know, go to the record store and spend $300, I could. Should I do it? Probably not, but I could.
Right.
Right. And
that's a big deal.
No, it's a big deal because back in the day, I don't think either of us had. I mean, we were getting most of our merch because we were friends with the bands, bro. We weren't buying that stuff. We didn't have no money for that.
Bro, you know what? I was just trying to explain to like a younger cat about this is like, I have a stupid amount of 7 inches. And the reason I do is because that was the one thing that cost $3 at a show.
Yep.
Okay, I can pull off $3. So I would grab a 7-inch from every show, just random things that we would see,
Yeah.
And it just over time accumulated into this thing that.
Dude, I wish I had all my stuff pre-Harvey, bro. We'd have a pretty comparable collection, but I got a reasonable collection. I mean, I run a little record shop, so I mean, I have access to stuff I wouldn't normally have, but like I've got, what I still have? I have the I Am Wolf demo CD.
Oh, sick.
I listen to that all the time still. Like I still listen to that.
That was fun, man. Rest in peace, Frankie.
Bro, R.I.P. Frankie. I talk about Frankie a lot because that dude, the night that I met him was so hilarious, bro. Like I did, what? I met him, right? No. I met him that night. We got into a fight at your house with all them like.
Oh yeah,
dude. That's when I met Frankie. Somebody was like, I was sitting at like the counter.
You look like Trey Parker.
Yeah. Dude,
he did straight up. He straight up did.
Bro, I never thought about that. That's amazing, dude. So I'm sitting at the island or whatever it was, countertop, and I'm just sitting there. I didn't really know a lot of people. You were busy, man. And somebody goes, "Hey, I think you would like this guy, Frankie." And he goes, "Y'all are kind of wild." And then I was like, "What's up, bro?" He's like, "What's up?" And so we're just sitting there chopping up, getting kind of like talking about music. And then there's this dude just like staring at us, and he's like, "What's with that guy?" And I was like, "I don't know. I thought he knew you." He goes, "I don't know that guy." And he goes, "You want me to go punch him in the face?" And I was like, and I didn't think he was gonna do it. So I was like, "Yeah, that'd be hilarious." And dude, like 10 minutes later, we're just scrapping, bro. Like, and then those dudes showed up, and Caleb was outside with that golf club hitting the ground, like, "What's up?" And the dudes pulled up with them shotguns, bro. It was crazy, dude.
We had the
like,
fire pokers too,
bro. Man, that night was that could have been real bad. Like that could have been real bad. Like it's funny to talk about in hindsight, but like in the moment you're like, "Oh man, that was awesome. We're tough. We're this and that." But like in between, like laughing about it, in the time it's happened, bro, that shit was dumb. Like we could have gotten blasted. Like that dude could have shot. Whenever the dude knocked on the door, I don't remember who answered it, but whoever answered it could have gotten shot. Like straight up, that dude had a shotgun. It might have been a rifle, like a 22 or something. But it was a long barrel.
Yeah.
Gun. But
it could have gone a much darker way than it did.
I think everybody.
It's cool. We can laugh about it, but on the cool, like you said, like, so many. So we have so many stories like that could have gone another way.
Well, I mean, look at all the friends we have that have either like perished or gone the route of like jail or whatever. Like a lot. Yeah. We have a lot of friends that have gone down a direction that we're just very fortunate to not have gone down. Like I literally was last night laying in bed going, "Man, I can't believe I'm 41 years old, bro. I got 3 kids." Like, yeah. And then I was thinking about talking to you. And I was like, tomorrow I'll get to talk to Brian. I'm talking to John tonight at 8 from Empire Down.
Sick. Hell yeah.
My dude Rob's coming on after you come on. Like I got 3 podcasts scheduled for my day off at work, and it's like the best. No, Rob from Empire Down. Not Rob Tom. Excuse me. Is that wait? Who did I say?
Oh, John. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. John, dude, I was talking about Rob a minute ago, and I got my names mixed up, bro. I barely know him, so my apologies.
No.
It's John, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I say Rob again? Oh, God, I'm sorry. But I was thinking about that, though. Oh, no. I did say Rob, because in between you and John, my buddy Rob's coming on. That's what I meant. Excuse me. Yeah, I have a different Rob, my buddy that I do like we're trying to do weekly, but he's in the process of moving too, so we'll get to weekly. But it's funny because he's the guy I was talking about earlier. He's the guy that did the Punkorama stuff, the Fat Records, went to Warped Tour, but he didn't do like necessarily the same things that we did, but he loves it just the same. I wasn't looking down my nose at anybody. That's ridiculous. My nose is too damn big anyways. But like I was just thinking, like, how great is it that I'm fortunate enough to even be here and like talk to my friends. I'm glad I still know you. Yeah. Like I got to meet up with, how cool is it at the CMI show on Friday in Houston? I got to walk up to Adam and go, hey, how much are these records? And he was like, 25, whatever. And I didn't have to think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll take them. Like that's back to, I was like,
no question about it. Yeah. Like we actually have like money in our pockets. But like, it's funny you mentioned all that stuff though, because we normalize so many different things. And I didn't really think about it until I got with Erin. And like a couple of years of us being together, she was like, you've known a lot of people that have died. You've been to a lot of funerals. And I never thought about it like that,
Yeah.
But like looking back and like comparatively speaking, you and I have watched a lot of people pass, man,
Dude, I've gotten a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing, like, to anybody's wondering that may end up watching this that wonders like, where was I at those? I don't go to funerals. I didn't go to my aunt's. I don't know what it is, but I have this like, I have this fear of mortality already. I go to funerals and it puts me in like a depression for a long period of time. And it's just a choice that I made that like in the event that like a very close friend, like somebody I know and talk to, okay, I'm not going to be disrespectful, but like I almost didn't go to my dad's. My brother had to physically pick me up and take me into the funeral home. Like I don't know what it is about that, bro, but I'm terrified.
It's hard, man. It's hard whenever you fully grasp it. There was a period, I was just talking at the shop about this earlier, where I didn't go to funerals, and there was a couple serious ones that popped up, and
there's a couple I regret not going to.
Yeah, and I just at that point in my life, I was just like, I couldn't do it,
I mean, I've had. How that's how I know something bad's going on. Whenever I'm looking at, like, I'm driving home, my phone rings, I look down. Like, I talk to Rob to Live and Gabe Wells pretty regularly still. They're still my friends. I still got their information. But when they reach out and call me, specifically Rob, it's usually not good. And I've had a few calls from him. He's like, hey, I just need to talk to you real quick. I'm like, oh no, like, and just and I don't want to.
No, I get it though. Yeah,
it's rough, man. We lived a hard life, dude. Like, if you just think about our 20s, like just the whole decade of like 20 to 29.
And we were living in extremes, you know what I mean? Like you were talking about your wife's normie and same with my wife. And it's like comparatively speaking, we were living in extremes compared to like a lot of other cats that we get to meet now in our sober lives,
Dude, I get told almost every day I need to write a book.
Yeah.
And like, something that you'll understand, and you'll understand this, and most people don't. One of only a handful of things that I'm actually ashamed of doing, because I don't live in that kind of. Yesterday is gone, bro. I don't have time to worry about it. But
you had songs written about you,
bro. That
probably kill song, fool.
Yeah, I tried to, dude. I was just trying to tell this kid the other day.
It was a sick ass song. It's a funny story,
dude. What was that band, bro?
Judas Cradle.
Was it really? I couldn't remember what band it was.
Yeah. I'm like 99% positive it was Judas Cradle.
I just remember that. Yeah, dude. That was it. Mary Jane's, right?
Yeah.
And then Gabe was like, hey, you want to come
do all chill in the parking lot always, and
do what?
We would always chill in the parking lot all the time.
Oh, that's where we were, bro.
Yeah. And then
a lot of fighting out there, bro.
Yeah.
I was telling this kid the other day was on a live stream, and I was like going through a bunch of like homies music on there. And this dude said, yeah, man, Deep in the Heart. And I was like, wait, do you know that record? And he goes, yeah, man, Pride Kills. And I was like, oh, dude, I did vocals on that record. And he goes, what? And I was like, yeah, like a little snippet. I was like, you want to hear it? And they were like, dude, I don't think they even believe me, bro. Like,
yeah, not only did you do vocals on it, but that song is about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love that you can confirm that, because I don't really talk about it much because I feel like it's so preposterous. Like, people are like, this guy's over here, he's so full of shit. Like, oh man.
I mean, you're the one that set it off for Yeah.
I mean,
look, I'll recount the story while keeping some information out, okay?
for sure.
So, like, it was just a hangout outside before the show, and there were like terms and language that you and I definitely don't use anymore, but it's definitely not safe to use in 2023.
Yeah.
That could be deemed homophobic, right? And we were just casually talking. And then the band gets on stage and calls us out, calls you out for the language, and then that was it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. They got, yeah.
Because, I mean, it was also a weird thing for them to do. It's like, hey, I get where you're coming from, but why didn't you come talk to me, you know?
Back then, for sure, because we were all crew, and like we were all homies, and our homie was the guy that put the show on. Yeah. All you had to say was like, hey, man, I would have certainly, look, dude, I've been an idiot a lot of my life, but I've never been like a mean dude, like ever. And so I would have been like, oh, like I would have absolutely, I'd have got on stage and been like, yo, dumbass here, my apologies. Like, you know me, bro.
Right, for sure. But it was the way that they went about it that was all twisted.
No, they were trying to embarrass us and like make a mockery of us in our own place.
In our own town.
Bro, you can't do that, man. Not in Texas, bro. I don't know where else. I've never been nowhere else. I don't know how they behave out there, but I don't think anywhere in Texas you're doing that.
No,
bro. That Trash Magz, that's your band, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. So that was like a little, man. So it was initially started as like a recording only project with initially it was me, Joey Molina, and Rosie, and we just had this idea for a punk band, and it was really coming out of the ashes of Rank. And Rank was a band with Joey, Brian from the Spits, Fun Boy, you know, and Chris on keys.
Okay.
Well, so that band broke up, and so we got the rest of those members, and we did Trash Magz, and we started recording, and then we were like, oh man, it'd be fun to play a show as it goes down. And the last show I played before everything was shut down, before the pandemic, was with Trash Magz. And,
nice.
It was funny because I was just telling this story last week. Like, I remember going to that show and being like, shaking hands with everybody, but being like, man, should we not be shaking hands? I don't know how this goes down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then getting the call right before we go to play that they had just shut down schools.
Bro,
like,
that was scary.
This is a thing. This is real, you know?
Okay, man. So I would love to talk about Trash Magz in 1 second because I have something I want to tell you about that band. But so in February 14th, Valentine's Day 2020, my wife brings me a box. We were celebrating at my shop. I was working like 80 hours a week, bro. I had to run that whole place by myself. And I mean, you know how that goes. So I was always there. So our plan was she's going to go pick up some pasta. We're going to have a movie night by ourselves at the shop on the big screen. And we have a brand new couch. And we're going to sit there and I'll do inventory while we're eating so I can still knock out a little bit of work. But then we're going to sit down and watch a movie together. And the kids will be with the homie at the house.
Yeah.
So she brings me a box and I'm like, yo, we weren't doing gifts, man. We're broke right now. She's like, no. Trust me. You're going to like this gift. And I was like, and then I open it and it's a pregnancy test. So that's little Parker. Everybody on this channel knows Parker. That's little Parker P, man. It's my guy. So I've been asking to have another baby for like 2-3 years and she didn't want to. And then things happened where she decided she did want to. We started trying. We got pregnant. So we got pregnant. Valentine's Day, we found out. My birthday is March 10th. So like for a few weeks, we're like, the shop was doing okay. We did our taxes. We were in the black. It's our 3rd year in business. We were doing okay, man. And then like about a week after my birthday, I get a phone call and they're like, I think it was the comptroller was calling me. And I think it might have been the fire marshal. I can't remember who it was. One of them called me and said, hey, you can't have walk-in business right now. Is there any questions that you have? And I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? I'm like, you can't have walk-ins.
I got so many questions.
Yeah, I'm like, I am a comic book shop. We only do walk-ins. Like, what do you mean? And they're like, look, we don't know right now, but it's like a 2-week thing. Like, shut for 2 weeks. And I was like, all right. So I called my landlord and I'm like, hey, what do I do? They tell me like, hey, we'll push it back 2 weeks on your rent. Like, we all thought it was going to be a temporary thing. I'm sure you remember that.
For sure.
So ultimately, they tell me we can't have customers for 90 days at this point. My landlord at that point told me, that's not our problem. And I was like, what do you mean it's not your problem? It is literally your problem.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they told me if I didn't have my rent paid within 30 days after due date, they would come lock the doors. And then after 90 days after that, they were going to sell all my crap. And so I panicked. I was like, I don't know what to do. I've never been in this. I'm a new business owner. Like, I'm at that point, I was like 6 years sober. I was like, bro, my life is headed in the right direction. What are you doing?
Yeah, don't mess this up for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just, bro, I went OG, bro. I was like, all right, bet. I got you, dude. And I turned into like the 25-year-old me. I was like, how do I fix this? And I was like, I know lots of people, man. I called up everybody, owed me favors. I was like, yo, I know you know what I'm talking about. I need your help right now. They're like, what do you need? I was like, I need your truck. And they're like, what? So I had like 5 homies come over with trucks. Dude, within like 7 hours, my store was packed up and it was in 2 big-ass storage units on the road. And I was like, lock my doors, bro. So then I didn't hear from my landlord from March until November. Not a word. Not, are you okay? Is the store open? Nothing. They weren't even in Texas. So they didn't know that I had closed. They just didn't care. And so the only way I got out of this is a story that's got a silver lining. I got out of that debt. I owed 2 years and change on a lease that was $3,500 a month on my lease. 2 years and bro, yeah, $3,700 was the total of my rent every month. Yeah. And
that's not cheap, man.
No, bro, it is a big place in Katy. It's a beautiful place. It is what it is, man. But they screwed up, dude, because I didn't claim any of the benefits from COVID. I didn't claim nothing, bro. I didn't take no money from the government. All I took was my unemployment. I took unemployment because I was owed that.
Yeah.
And so I took unemployment, and I didn't even take that for almost a year. So when the company that owned the property finally spoke up to me, it was to sue me for the money that I owed them. And they had already collected benefits from the government. The only stipulation was if you collect these benefits, you can't go after the person that had the lease. And I guess they didn't read the paperwork. I did. So, boom, it got dropped in court immediately, bro. All that money was absolved. I don't owe them a penny.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. It was all because I just like went into old school me and just started back bartending, hustling, selling stuff online. I was just doing that to make my bills. And then I didn't take no money out. I didn't know what to do. It was
it's like they talk about those aspects of us that got us through some tough times back in the day. Yeah, we shouldn't live in that, but they can definitely come to our benefit when necessary.
You know? Ask my wife. She'll tell you. Anytime I've ever asked him for anything, it's happened. I've never told her no. We argue sometimes. We're a couple. But like, bro, that's my gal, dude. I'll do anything for her, man. I'll sell everything I own for her. I don't care about this stuff. Like, that's my woman. That's my wife. She gave me 3 kids, dude. What are you talking about? Like, no, bro.
Yeah.
But, dude, that Trash Magz EP that y'all just dropped, bro. What the F, dude? It sounds like, I don't know if you... I like posted it on my channel and then I commented on it because I was listening to it like over and over. It sounds like if Murder City Devils was an Oi band. I was like, that's what it's like. Bro, it's so good, man. Everything you're doing is awesome.
Dude, we have a lot of fun with that and we never practice. It'll be like every few months we're like,
that's awesome.
Oh man, we should go record. And
that's awesome.
We record with Ramsey, who lives like, well, his studio is less than 10 minutes from here, so we'll all take turns doing our thing, and then I'll like write lyrics on the fly.
That's amazing.
That
doesn't surprise me. That's how
we all in my head, whatever's going on.
That's how we used to do it, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, you know how long I've known Ramsey?
Oh, y'all went to high school together, right?
Bro, we went to like elementary together. I've known that dude. Okay, so Ramsey Bashar, shout out to Ramsey. He is the first person in my entire life to show me a punk rock record. Ramsey Bashari.
Shout out to Central Sound Recording. That's his recording.
Is that his spot? Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I man. So I'm actually in the process of writing an EP. I have no desire to play it like live or anything. But I have this.
Ramsey.
I will, dude. I have all this stuff stuck in my head, man. I'll send you a lyric later that you're gonna be like, oh, it's called Change. It's about pill bottles, bro. Yeah. It's gonna hit you, bro. It's probably the best thing I've ever written ever in my life.
Also, just be open to like you maybe wanting to play a show because that might pop up for you, bro.
It might. No, it absolutely might. And I'm not like adamantly opposed to it or anything. I just don't want to ever get into a spot where I have to now tell my wife like, hey, I got to go do this for the whole weekend. And nah, man, I like this end of it, the interviewing people and but yeah, I mean, I'll do something, man, a little something, especially in Houston. But so. First off, dude, I appreciate you showing me Empire Down. That band is really good, man. Like,
oh, dude, I love that band.
I wouldn't know about them if it wasn't for you guys, because I mean that's how I got introduced to them, was from you telling me like, hey, we're doing this record. Like you just told me about it, and I was like, oh, cool. I looked into them, and was like, oh, that's awesome. And that show, what an incredible lineup.
But like tough, and just like it's got so many elements of it that are really cool.
Well, how was the weekend, man? That was an incredible line, dude. That might be one of my favorite lineups ever, man. It was True Intentions, Empire Down, Concrete Elite, CMI, and Liberty and Justice. Like, what?
And Life Force.
So I didn't even know about those guys until I got there.
And whatchamacallit, Rico Boss Hooligan. He's DJ'd on Rancid Force before. He's from KC.
Oh, nice.
Old school skin. Is
that the dude that was up there DJing, huh?
Yeah.
He was nice.
Yeah, he like Rancid straight up taking him out on tours to like open up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Dude, yeah, he's really he was very kind. I mean, I'll talk to him for a minute, but he's very nice. But that is one of my favorite lineups, man. Like I had a blast, man.
Yeah, dude. That was fun, man. So Houston was cool, no doubt. It was fun. But I think the funnest show, just like crowd wise, was San Antonio.
I knew you were gonna say that. I wish I should have gone to that show, man. I'm pissed I didn't, but I was
so dope. And like Richard's band Bullshit Detector played.
That's why I wanted to go. I wanted to go get some more footage of them, and I just couldn't make. I guess I probably could have, but like
it's too. I get it, man.
Yeah, but next time I have an opportunity like that, I'm just gonna take it, because I should have went, because I saw the footage, a little bit of footage, and I was like, oh, why did I stay here? San Antonio's only like 3.5 hours away from like where I live. I could have gone, but like, you know, having the family, I just worry about my wife and kids being home by themselves if I'm gone all night. Like I just
totally get it.
But that must have been hella fun, dude. How'd you end up meeting Adam?
So that's a kind of funny story. So
for anybody that's wondering, Adam from Conservative Military Image, they know each other fairly well.
Yeah. So Erin, my wife, I love her to death. She doesn't care too much about punk rock. Like there's some bands that she likes, but she's mostly into like a lot of gothic stuff, pop stuff, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Right? But there's been two random connections in our life where I'm like, that's crazy that you know that person, because I know this person from this or whatever. But like the first one was, she's friends and like grew up with Gibby's wife, Gibby from The Trouble and from Panic.
Oh, wow. I do know that.
Yeah. And like, she didn't know any of that, but I was like, yo, her husband is old boy from Panic and The Trouble and all those sick ass bands. And I was nerding out about that. And she's like, okay. Then, the way I knew, I kind of got connected with Adam was, he's originally from Atlanta, and Aaron had some friends from Atlanta that knew him, and we all kind of got connected like that.
Oh.
Then, Thug Boots and Liberty and Justice played Midwest Live and Loud, and he was doing security at that fest, right?
Okay.
And he was like, he was just talking about like being into Thug Boots and being a fan, and it's so crazy. He's like a tall, like jacked, intimidating looking dude, but he was being so like nice and kind of like humble. And I was like, yo, okay.
That's the biggest podcast I've ever done, was with him. And the most common comment is like, that guy's really nice. I'm like, that guy's super nice. Like, I want to do something. I want to get my label off the ground, and I've got two releases coming out, dude. I want to do stuff with so many people, man. I just gotta save some more money. We'll get there, man. It'll happen.
I'll say this real quick about and so anyway, so we kept in contact and like, would talk about music and weightlifting and whatever. He's always been super nice, super solid dude. But I watched him turn CMI into this little recording project that he would do in his house to like what it is now. Like he had sent me some tracks way back in the day, and I was like, oh, this is tight. This is cool. And then all of a sudden, that's why I brought up the thing to you about what you want to record is like all of a sudden and turned into what it is now. And I'll say this, like seeing them live and seeing the crowd reactions was very reminiscent to the hype and the crowd reactions of the early Iron Age shows and the early Power Trip shows. It was a trip, dude. It was like I was like, I haven't witnessed or experienced this in a long time, and the last time I did was with those two bands.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's exactly how I felt. Like, not so much Power Trip, but Iron Age. I was like, man, this kind of feels like Iron Age. Like, because it was like the people that know, and the people that don't, and the people that don't know yet, when they figure it out, they're all gonna be super jealous that they didn't know. And I mean, I did that.
And also, if you remember, man, like Iron Age was a completely different beast back then. Like whenever they first started, whenever that demo tape was going around, it was like on.
Well, they made a huge arc. They changed their whole they started doing all the Viking stuff, which I mean, rad. Like, I'm not tripping.
It's tight for sure. But whenever they came out, it was like it was like Jason Tarpey, who was the most posy dude I knew, and
remember Posy Cuts, bro?
Rest in peace, Wade, who was just like a wild party dude, and these other cats doing this like epic street style hardcore with like a little bit of a locking out vibe to it. It was wild, and the live shows were nuts from the first show on.
Bananas.
Yeah, and so that's why I say like it was very reminiscent of that, you know.
Whenever like Iron Age was the first hype band I ever got to be like because I knew those guys, so to me they weren't rock stars, they were my buddies, right? And I wasn't like really good friends with them, but like even today if I reached out to Tarpey, he'd probably say hi, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, but they were the first hype band where I was like, I didn't get it. I was like, those are just the homies. I don't understand, like I don't know what it was. I felt like an idiot, but I was like, I just don't understand all the hype. Like,
well, I don't know if you remember, but back then we like you and I, we knew Wade in a different context, and I won't divulge too much stuff, but like, you know, I was kind of like selling stuff and slanging or whatever, and like we would, you know, me, you, and Brian, and sometimes a couple other people would go to Wade's apartment for the weekend and just party. And I knew Iron Age was coming up, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And
but that's what I'm saying. So like when I saw them live, it was just like the homie. And like I thought they were awesome, but I didn't understand like the freak out, because it was like a freak out. Like there was like urgency. Like you have to go see this band. And I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna be there, but like what's the deal? Like and then it would go and they would be like second on the bill, and then the headliner would have like half the place full because everybody was there for Iron Age and then left.
Yep.
Like that happened a lot.
Yeah.
Like I remember
from their first show on.
Dude, dude, like the whole time. Like the only band that I saw, it was actually kind of funny, dude. It was I'm pretty sure it was Terror was the headliner, and Iron Age was like second, and it was like some opening band. Iron Age packed the place out. Everybody left, and at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock, it started filling back up for Terror, but it was like a ghost town for like 2 hours for these other three bands. I felt bad, man.
Bro, do you remember, did you go to the Iron Age record release in San Antonio that 10 Crowns played?
I can't remember, bro. Like, I don't think I did, but I might have, bro. My memory from then is whack.
So in the practice space on the way there, we were just trying to hustle money. We made these stupid shirts that said, I went to the Iron Age record release show, and all I got was this stupid 10 Crowns shirt. And it was
that's the best shirt ever, dude.
And it was just like just ghetto screen printed in the practice space. And we go to the show, and like we're just
Knife Crime apparel all day.
Yeah, well, but we're just trying to shout out Knife Crime. We were just trying to like get beer money and stuff, and so we sold all those shirts in the parking lot before the show started.
Oh, into it.
The show
that's so good.
Happened, and they got moved venues, right? But the whole time we're still chilling in the parking lot. We haven't even loaded in yet. So by the time it gets moved to a venue, I think it's like we either didn't have any more money for beer, or it was too late to buy beer. But we were talking to Riley and those kids, and I don't know if you remember those little munchkins, but they were always about stealing beer. So,
dude, they would all Yahoo was their middle name, bro.
Yeah,
them boys would gank beer all day.
So we went to HEB and just like all of us just grabbed a bunch of beer and just walked out and left, and like we're chill for the rest of the night, you know.
Dude, Man, we used to have so much fun doing that stupid mess, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I remember 10 Crowns went to go play with Riley's old band Balls Out. And
dude, I loved Balls Out. That was the best name too. Like that. Okay, Thug Boots is a pretty great name. Balls Out might be the best band name. Like
no, for sure. And I used to tell them they sounded like a drunk Champion. Like it was still like melodic hardcore. But like,
Champion is one of my like low key favorite bands of all time. With that one album they had, it's so good. I used to ride in the back of like. Yes. Yeah. I used to ride in the back of Friedman's car with him and Jennifer, and they'd be like, what are you listening to back there? Because I had like a Discman and a headphones because they always listen to some metalcore crap. And I'm like, nah, bro, it's Champion record. And they're like, you're listening to Champion right now? I'm like, I love this band.
Yeah.
Blowing through lines, listening to Champion. Like, let's see how stupid I can get. Bro.
But so we we played with them, and then we went to go chill afterwards, and they took us to this like college bar in Denton, and like we didn't really. It was a big group of us, and collectively we really didn't have enough money to drink, but we wanted to get wasted. So we all go in, a massive group of us, and we order as much stuff as possible in a 30-minute period, like just stressing out the bartender. It was a packed like Friday night. And, I mean, I wouldn't do this nowadays. I don't know, but like, I wouldn't do this nowadays. And like, we just gave a fake card. It may have been like a gift card or something, but it was so in there. Just gave it shots, Jaeger bombs, beers, all this stuff. We got blasted in 30 minutes and then bounced.
Bro, dude. I mean, yes, I am a literal bartender, so that would bum me the hell out. But like, it
was. Like I said, I would not do that.
No, dude, this is reminiscent, man. This is the old days when we weren't adults yet, bro. Like, straight up. Man, I remember, dude. Okay, so I worked at Kirby Lane Cafe when I lived in Austin. I lived up there with Ribs and Shay and everybody, right? And I'll never forget this. I got fired from Kirby Lane Cafe for fighting with a customer, like fist fighting with a customer, because I was being a moron, and me and my gal at the time weren't talking. It was a big thing I don't need to get into, but I started like smashing out this old girl that I worked with, and this dude was like grabbing her, and I wasn't even that I was like messing with her, bro. It was a lady, and he was like grabbing on her. She was like, stop, and he wouldn't stop. And so I was lead weight. I just said, hey, like, let me take the table. And like we switched, and it pissed the dude off, and then he started running his mouth at me. And my best friend at the time, his name was Cadillac James, bro. He worked there with me. It was just me, him, and her that was working. And I was like, dude, y'all just gotta chill. Like, they were eating. I was like, they were drunk. And I was like, just, dude, get out of here, man. Like, eat your food and go home. And then the guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, I'll just catch you on a cigarette break. And I was like, yeah, I bet you will, bro. And then I got really mad. I was like, no, bro. You're not gonna catch me on a cigarette break, bro. I'm about to go take a cigarette break. I'll be outside anytime you want to come outside. And then I just told my buddy James, I said, hey, man, go out the back door and meet me out back. These dudes are gonna try to jump me. He was like, nah, there's no way. I was like, yeah, dude, they are. And so I go outside. And I already see my buddy. He's already waiting, dude. He's like ready to roll. I had a rock in his big ass rock. And I was like, dude, let's roll. And the guy came outside. We got into a big ass fight with about 4 big college douches from UT. And but like, that's the stuff we did back then. We go out and do, like, I would never, like, now I wouldn't mess with some girl I'm working with. Yeah. I wouldn't fight at work. Like, I'm just not, dude, 20s were fun, man, but they were stupid.
And it goes back to like, yeah, I don't endorse that stuff anymore, and that was the old us. That, man, if something happens, if need be, sure, we could pull that out. You know what I mean? But we don't. Yeah. You know.
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't endorse any kind of that stuff, dude. It's funny how. I mean, that's how I got my channel to the size it is on my other channel. It's almost at 30,000. Is because I was doing like reviews on Juice WRLD and Lil Peep music, and I was like, y'all can't. I was like, I can't promote this stuff, guys. I was like, this is incredibly dangerous, man. And I'm still not even a decade away from this stuff, and I need a left knee surgery, like, pretty bad, and I just don't want to get it because I'm terrified of having any kind of like opiates in my body. Like, I just don't want them anywhere near me.
And those cats were dying too, like Juice WRLD. Yeah.
Juice WRLD died. Lil Peep died. I mean, how many of them, dude? Mac Miller, R.I.P. Mac Miller, bro. Like, all these amazing musicians who were like sort of had their foot in our world anyways, dude. Like, especially like Lil Peep, dude. That guy was very much into punk stuff, but and DIY stuff. Suicide Boys, those guys are into that stuff. I mean, And so I just started talking to kids on Instagram. I told them, like, hey, look, I'm not going to promote this music, but what I will do is I'll review it objectively. And then if you need to talk to somebody, you can hit me up on Instagram. And it's just kind of blown up. And I do a lot of that. And it's pretty rewarding, man. I got a lot of kids that are they're cool, man. They just need somebody to listen to them. We didn't have that, dude. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have like money to go to a counselor. Like, bro, we barely had our rent paid. Maybe not even that. Like, we were like lights getting shut off all the time. Like,
yeah, it was. I mean, looking back, like I can't imagine doing that now because it would seem so stressful. But everything was on the edge. Everything was like about to pop off, about to shut down, about to go out. Like, just
every day it was like that, man. I would be on the bus,
no safety net.
Bro. No, dude. Like, the safety net had a hole in it, bro. You're just gonna fall right through that jank. Yeah. Like, dude, you know, talking about like weird coincidences meeting people. So like, I put out that tape on my label, like. I don't know where it's at, somewhere around here. By that guy, TJ Trainwreck from Florida. And it's like this horror movie hip hop stuff. And then I tell him one day, hey, man, you should listen to this band CMI. And I shoot him like Liberty and Justice stuff, like a bunch of bands I was listening to. And he goes, oh, bro, I know this dude. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. So it turns out he was in a hardcore band for all these years. And he knows a bunch of dudes in like Section Hate and all these other bands. And it's so strange how small this world is, bro. Like, it's so weird.
What hardcore band was he in?
I'm trying to remember the name of it, dude. Oh my goodness, bro. It was called. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to look this up. If I heard it, I would know it immediately. It was I'm gonna text that fool right now. It was like they were heavy, bro. Let's see.
And they were a Florida band?
Yeah. It might have been from. Hold on. I'm just gonna text that fool right now.
Yeah. I gotta jump off probably at like the 60-minute mark to go.
Yeah, you're good, bro. Well, I'll just text you his band in a little bit then.
But, yeah, I'm super interested.
Yeah, dude, check out this tape we did, bro. It looks awesome. Shit. I'm over here throwing things around. I did this like, goddamn.
That's sick. I like that green.
We did 31 on green, obviously, right? Because it's 31 records. Yeah. And then we did whatever the rest of them is, 110 copies made on black. And yeah, these things are rad, man. The company we got them made from did a really good job, and so I'm going to go back to them. I have a band called Contact is doing the Trauma EP. They're from Washington State. That's coming out like real soon. They're mailing me back my contract. They should have it now and should be sending it back. And then a band from Houston called Poppers. They're putting out their EP. It might be a full length. I can't remember what the length of the album was, but we're doing a tape with them too. And then I'm likely going to put that on CD as well because they wanted to have some CDs to take on tour with them. And then I'm going to save any kind of money I can get to put out some kind of vinyl from somebody. But I'm also doing the framed EP.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Bro, hell yeah, man. I'm so appreciative of your time, Ryan. I know you're busy as hell.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
No, dude, this has been so much fun. And I hope I can get you back on in the future, maybe in another couple of months. What are you working on right now? I know you just dropped that Trash Magz EP. You did Top of the Scrap Heap. You did that split with Empire Down. I feel like you're the busiest person I know, and I'm pretty busy. Like,
it is, man. People put that on me, and I understand where they're coming from, and it's a lot of perception stuff. But like, I'll just say this: like, whenever I got sober, I realized that there are 24 hours in a day, and I was like, oh man, okay, cool. I can accomplish things, you know?
Yep.
So it comes in waves. Like right now, Liberty's not going to play. I'm really not doing any shows for a few months, just chilling at home. And Liberty just got done finishing up a new ska track. I'll text that to you, bro.
Let's go.
But so just kind of chilling right now, you know?
Nice. That's awesome, man. I'm really, really, really proud of you. Really happy for you, man. How was, just last thing, dude, how was Europe, bro? I haven't got to ask you really about
that. It was crazy. I mean, it was just crazy because it's like, I grew up in a trailer park in Pasadena, and like, we're playing shows in Europe. That is
amazing.
And like you and I, we know a lot of bands that like just do that on the reg, and like that's not me. So it was dope just to be out there.
Dude, I've never left Texas. So yeah. I'm going to Vegas soon. We just sold some property, and we're gonna go see the Punk Rock Museum because Tim's guitar's in there. Are you kidding me, dude? I want to go touch that thing. Like, get some of that energy, man. Some of that creative energy. But like, yeah, man, I'm really proud of you, dude. I'm glad to see you're doing things with the people you're doing it with. I love Richard, man. Edwin's a guy that I just really, really like him a lot. I actually am friends with a guy that he knows. Like my friend Chris Hayes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've known that guy for that's my dude, bro. Like it's so weird that y'all know each other. It's just it's awesome, man. I'm small world.
The world's smaller than we realize, I think, you know.
Last thing I'll tell you is that whenever I talk to people at my job at the bar, and they go, "What do you do in your spare time?" And I tell them, "Do YouTube channels. I got a little label, I got a little shop, I got kids, you know, I do this, and I do YouTube." And they're like, "What?" And I tell them the same exact thing. I'm like, "Dude, I was a junkie, man. Like I spent 7 hours a day on a metro bus trying to get dope.
Yep.
So like I don't have to do that anymore. So I have bare minimum 7 hours to get stuff done. Like exactly. I paint, I screen print, I got a shirt company. Like I do whatever I want to do.
Yep.
You know, you have to work hard to get to that point. But anybody's listening, man, you can do whatever you want to do. You can make music, you can make art. Now you may have to work. You may have to have a regular job, but nothing worth a crap comes easy in this life, dude. And that we are evidence of that, and we're evidence of the fact you can make anything happen.
I firmly believe that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Man, I love you, brother. And I will reach out,
man.
And I'll get back to you. Maybe we'll do this again in a few months if you got time.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you.
Dude. Yeah. Dude, I belong here doing this. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I belong doing this. This is what is my calling in life, man. So
Hell yeah.
I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Later, man.